Hey everybody, welcome back to College of Lore's D&D 5e actual play.
Everything's on fire.
Everyone's fire. Wonder who did that? What could that have been caused by? Someone, apparently, is launching fireballs. What's up with that? That's what you guys are about to find out. So when last we left off, Valaki had just been set on fire, and you all saw a figure land on top of a building and set more of Valaki on fire with, assumedly, a fireball spell or something in that vein. What's up with that? What would you like to do?
So I think immediately, one of the first things that, we notably do, Ruby, would like to try a rule that the audience should know about now.
Yes.
Demigod stuff.
Yes. Roll percentile, I decide what the DC is to be under, depending on the intensity of what the demigod is trying to do, and I will let them know if they succeed or fail or something in between. Depending on the goal.
She would like to use her demigod magic to quell the flames.
Okay, just entirely?
Yeah, seeing as flames come from hell.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Go ahead and roll.
95.
So it is in the same vein as Divine Intervention. It has to be a very low roll. No. You hold your hands up to do this, and I don't think you really assume that you've made it worse, but you see the fire continue to spread and you're like, well, shit, that didn't help.
Yeah.
So not ideal, not great. Everyone kind of, at least on the NPC side of things, kind of looks over at you like, what's that about? Looks like we may have a fight on our hands. Kind of looking up at this figure.
Is it a fight we want to take, or do we want to run?
I feel wrong, Rodney. Serena kind of looks up at that. But I also feel kind of wrong sticking around for that. I think it's him. I think I would know. Strahd? Yes. I'm pretty sure. Sure as I'll ever be unless I see his face. He's about the only person I know here who can cast that kind of spell.
You make the call.
We need to leave. I care about this city just like I care about everyone in Barovia, but I can't let him get me because that dooms everybody. And also because I don't want to, but I think that's important to keep in mind. So that said, try not to get noticed, and let's move. Let's move, indeed. And I would like all of you to roll stealth for me.
Alright.
I am going to roll for everyone on my side of things.
Natural 20 for Oxford.
Alright.
23 total.
That's good.
25 for Pride. 9 for Pruitt. 8 for Ruby. 14 for Terry. 23 for Zero.
So, how many successes versus failures is that?
What's the DC?
15.
3 successes, 3 failures.
Alright. You are very, very lucky. Because we had 3 successes and 2 failures, so that does override the failures.
Just barely.
Just barely. You just barely kind of... I think Oxford rolls this 23 and just kind of, drags one of you into, an alleyway as this figure kind of turns their head toward where you're walking.
Yeah, that's probably Pruitt.
Yeah. And all of you kind of make your way kind of down these side streets, kind of staying on the same side of the street as where this person is. They're faced the other way. If they turned, you wouldn't immediately imagine they'll look straight down. So you kind of edge along these buildings on this side of the street that haven't yet quite caught flame. You can feel the heat around you now as the buildings on even the other side of the street have started to burn. But his attention seems largely to be focused on setting more on fire. And you all you make your way toward the gates, which as you get there you realize are also in flames, which is not ideal. At this point, the degree of the fire, especially on the side that burned first, houses are starting to collapse as their interior kind of support beams start to burn and crack under the heat and the pressure. So even that wall of the city has started to kind of snap in on itself, start to burn, start to char and weaken, and eventually collapse. Not that it's safe to go through, because everything's on fire, but that side of the wall is starting to weaken, and you figure this side of the wall will weaken enough to collapse eventually, this kind of gate. It's up to you guys to decide whether you think trying to run under it is worth it or trying to hide until the fire dies down enough to go over it is the better call. You will have to roll stealth rolls again to hide for that long, is what I will say.
I think it might make more sense to try to go through.
Alright, you're gonna try to run through this gate and just hope nothing falls on you or sets you on fire.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm going to have someone roll something very quickly. I may have you roll stealth again anyway, because you're moving into a very open space. Would you be okay doing that?
Sure.
You be okay all rolling stealth for me again?
5
Oh boy.
for Oxford, 8 for Pride, 6 for Pruitt, 8 for Ruby.
If 4 of you have failed the DC, which
Yep.
4 of you, actually 5 of you have,
15 for Terry,
because there was a perception roll made for this one.
10 for Zero.
Literally none of you pass it, and 2 people pass it on my side. Which I think was... Actually, no, only 1 passed it. I think it was Kella. So that's fun. So as you kind of make a sprint across this fire, and as you do this, one of the kind of the wooden like beams that holds up this wall crashes down, basically right behind you. Crashes down, and while it does not hurt any of you, the noise and the movement at the same time catch this figure's eye. And as they turn, kind of illuminated in the light of this burning city, you see someone you can only assume to be Strahd. For the first time for many of you, you see Strahd's face directly. Shit. Well, fuck. That's not good. We need to keep moving. He'll catch us. Not all of us. What do you suggest? We split. He can't catch all of us. He'll come for you. I know. Give more with me, then. Give me backup. But I don't think we should all go together. I'm not sure that's wise. We should all stay to back you up, right?
There is strength in numbers.
I don't want all of you getting your shit kicked if he comes and kills you all. We need as much as possible on your side to defend you. I think we should all stay. We should move, but we should stay together.
Yes.
I really don't want all of you to fucking die for me. But I guess I can't stop you. Let's get moving though, right? Let's go. He, for a moment, turns back, and continues to launch a couple more fireballs at this town. Fundamentally, ensuring that it burns. Ensuring that people do not escape. Or if they escape, there's nothing to go back to. And as he does this, you see this fire as you glance back over your shoulders to make sure he's not following, start to engulf the entire town of Vallaki. You see buildings collapse further. You see some where the fire had barely started start to smolder as they've all kind of crashed in on each other. There are people in the streets. They are running. They are scared. The guards are not even trying to play crowd control. They're also running. They're also scared. This is Strahd. And people are scared of Strahd. And the whole kind of thing of this town is hiding. And there is now nowhere to hide. Not for them, not for you. Any of you. And as you continue to move, you take a few steps. You kind of get out of Vallaki proper, near kind of a path. You kind of just pick a direction and start moving. It's not the way you came. You're kind of going out the opposite side of the city now, keeping moving. And as you do that, you see mist start to swirl on the path in front of you and start to take form. This dark, shadowy mist. It's a combination of the kind of mist you see in the forest and this kind of almost shadowy mass of energy. And it swirls and coalesces and sort of amalgamates itself into a vaguely humanoid shape. And all of you kind of stop. There's no point trying to walk past it.
Yeah.
And as it finishes to kind of form itself in front of you, once again, much closer this time, you see the figure of the Dreadlord standing right in front of you. Irina puts a hand on her sword.
Should we roll initiative?
Not quite yet. All of you kind of, I think, immediately do put your hands on your weapons, but Strahd kind of holds a hand to all of you. Hello, adventurers. It is quite a pleasure. I think most of you know who I am. But, for the sake of introductions, I am Lord Strahd von Zarevich. I am the ruler of this realm, and you all have made yourselves known to me. Piss off! Irina kind of calls out at him. And you, piss off! Are what I am here for. More than any of the rest of you. Far, far more than the rest of you.
You're not taking her.
Do you plan to stop me?
Yes, I do.
Here and now? You cannot beat me.
Then I'll die trying.
Will you? All of you? I'm not backing down from this shit. I've wanted to stab you for ages. You can certainly try.
You will have to go through all of us.
Then go through all of you, I will. Roll initiative. Cutting back in. Hi, everybody. We have rolled all of our initiative.
Wait, tiebreakers.
Yes, I know. I'm going to sort that out now. So, I assume, Zerl, you would like to go before Darian? Unless you really want him to go first?
No, actually let Darian go first.
Okay, yeah, he can show off a little. Oxford and Pride. Preference there?
Ours that are alone are in order.
Okay.
We've sorted that already. Oxford,
Okay.
or
Oxford
actually,
and
no,
Pride are a tiebreaker.
Pride should be first.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ruby and Tayri? Any tie-breaking there? Is that...
Taver should go first.
Okay. Everything else, Mateo and Pruitt? Preference?
Pruitt?
Alright, cool. And that settles, if I can actually move this appropriately, our tiebreakers. Luckily, Strahd is third to last in the turn order. You guys get some damage off on him. I'm going to have to keep track of some things. There are good newses in that he, well, I wrote that in as this fight is only supposed to happen in Castle Ravenloft, so I don't know what happens here. Sure. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's supposed to be in there, so let me just write down 1300. Oh, 1300. Don't worry about that number. Good luck! So I get to start this, because I am rolling everything for Darian, and I have his stat block. He has... plus 9. Full d20 plus 9. Well, okay. It begins. 3, 4. Unfortunately, only one of those is a hit. They're not bad rolls. Well, they're kind of bad rolls. Only one of them hits, though. Right, also. So he takes 1 damage as he activates his right.
Hey, only 1 damage, that's pretty good.
Yeah, 1 damage is the minimum. It's good. D6 for his Right of the Dawn to activate, which does extra damage to undead, so that was a good call. That I made, obviously. And then we are going to roll his damage, which I will say it out loud for the sake of this process. Plus D6. So, he rolls his weapons. Both of his swords do 2d6 plus 6 as base damage. He gets to add a d6 for the right damage, and actually I realize he gets to add a second d6, which totals to 17 damage, which is a very, very small amount in the grand scheme of this process. And that leaves us with him kind of annoyed that he doesn't get to do more. And Zerl, it is now your turn.
Alright, so...
Because he is within connection to Strahd, you are a rogue, you do get sneak attack on this.
Alright.
He is close enough that you get sneak attack because of that bonus, because of having an ally there. So, if you would like to go ahead and roll that.
I would love to...
Unless you want to do something else, obviously.
Yeah, I'd love to basically run up to him and attack.
Okay, go ahead.
Kind of strike him from behind while Darian attacks up front.
Yes.
It's gonna be a 20 to hit.
That is a hit.
Alright. 14 damage.
14 damage. Everything counts. I'm not 100% sure how much damage you guys are going to end up doing to him per turn. We will see. That is nice.
And then can I cunning action hide?
So we've talked about that in the past. Technically you have to cunning action disengage.
Right.
Which is a rule that I always forget about. You do have to disengage. You used your movement to get to him. Hiding as an action, you would have to disengage and move away.
Okay.
Then we'll let you do that to step back so you're out of his immediate range.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. But that is a rule that I constantly forget about,
Yes.
that you have to disengage or take an opportunity attack, and I don't think you want to do that.
No.
Not from Strahd. So with that settled, okay, that is another thing for me to roll. Awesome. Okay. So Kella is up in the initiative order. Oh, God, fuck. Do that again. Shit. I keep moving my sheets around.
Alright. So she's also gonna activate her right,
Yes.
which is D4 at this level?
D4 at this level, yes.
And hurt herself for 4.
Eek. Not ideal. I believe in you guys. Maybe you'll just kill Strahd right here. That would be so funny.
So right of the dawn specifically.
Yes.
That is 11 and 7 two-hand fighting.
So those are not going to hit.
No.
Which leads us into Oxford's turn.
Alright. You know what? Magic Missile, I think.
Alright, Magic Missile. That's a great play.
So that is 3 darts, right?
Yes, at first level, yes.
So 9 total damage.
Yeah.
Yeah?
That's fair. He's gonna cast Shield. And also increase his AC by 5 until his turn. Which is really bad for you guys. He's going to cast Shield and take no damage.
What?
Fuck. Sorry.
No problem.
It's very hard to not do that here. Okay, yes, he's going to cast Shield as one of his first level spell slots and take no damage from Magic Missile, and also increase his AC by 5 until his turn. Tayri. Hi.
Hi.
As Oxford does this, you just kind of see this shimmering force field appear just over his skin, and these darts just kind of bounce off and fade.
Which makes Oxford very displeased.
Yes,
so
I'm sure.
If I cast Magic Missile, it wouldn't work.
Shield, yes. Until the start of his turn, no Magic Missile will do anything.
Sacred Flame.
Alright.
Okay, 7 damage, DC 14 Dex save.
DC 14 Dex save, alright. I will roll.
Tayri does not know much.
Natural 20.
Alright.
So he does pass his Dex save and takes no damage because that is an all or nothing cantrip. Ruby. Hi. It's your turn.
This is going very badly.
Yeah, he just sort of, like, steps out of the way and this flame just kind of dies on the ground. Keep that in mind for later. Forgot he has resistance to some things. I'm just gonna give it to you for now, though. Don't worry, it's fine. So yeah, Ruby, what would you like to do here?
Spiritual Weapon.
Okay.
10 to hit.
That is not going to hit. It is concentration, so that is up for a minute. Basically, we'll call it until your next turn.
Yeah, it's a bonus action.
Yes, it is a bonus action.
Guiding Bolt.
Okay.
18.
Not a hit.
Right.
You are going to have a really hard time hitting him until this shield drops, guys.
Alright.
So that brings things to Zala, who is also going to have a really, really hard time hitting him. She actually does hit him once.
Huh.
She does not get a right or anything like that. Her weapons are magical, I think. So she at least gets to do full damage there, which is nice. So she deals 10 damage. She kind of cuts in, right next to Darian. Steps forward, kind of darts in, and slashes at him kind of in the same way that Darian did. This shield, she cuts into him the first time, and the shield spell almost seems to phase over that. that injury, and she cannot manage to hit him any further than that. Which leads us to Arena, and oh god, Strahd's turn is next, and I forgot he gets legendary actions, so I'm gonna have to use one of those right now. Before I waste them all.
Maybe he forgets.
Maybe he forgot he can do that. The land can use the following legendary actions. Right, I forgot I can do that, can't I? Okay, hi everyone. How many of you, where are we all right now? I'm doing Theater of the Mind, so I don't really have us all laid out. How many people have moved to hit him right now?
So, Pride,
Okay.
Darien, and Zerl, but she took a step back to disengage.
Okay, cool. Pride, Darien, Zerl, Zala as well. The rest of you are from a distance?
Yes.
Okay. So that leaves me looking at Oxford, Tayri, Ruby, Pruitt and Mateo, who haven't moved yet, and Kella, who shot from a distance, right?
Yes.
And Arena, who has not moved forward yet. So she's also back there. Oh boy. So I just want you all to know, I'm gonna read this off because this is written in the stat book and I want everyone to know how this works. He can use a spell casting as 2 legendary actions, which lets him cast a spell of 6th level or lower, which is probably going to down all of the people in this immediately because he is going to cast Cone of Cold. Which I believe is 8d8, right?
Yeah.
I would like everyone to make dex saves.
Gold is a spit.
Everyone that I just listed. Everyone except Zala, Darien, Pride, and Zeril. Right? That's who's been up there? That's the 4 that were up there?
Yes.
Okay.
So everyone but those 4?
Yes, everyone but those 4 is who this is.
Alright, do you want to roll the damage?
I did.
Okay, 28.
28 damage. 14 if you succeed.
And it's a DC what save?
20.
Dex?
Yes, dex save. DC 20 dex save.
It's going to be a natural one for Oxford, who goes down.
Yes. I will make dex saves for... Kella probably dropped back at least, so she's actually probably out of range.
Natural 20.
Awesome. I will give you, despite... well, I guess it is a DC 20 either way, but that was what you needed,
Pruitt.
So I'm having Mateo and Irina roll. Okay. And nope. Okay.
Hey, natural 1 for Ruby, who also goes down.
Alright. 28 goes to...
Oops, shouldn't do an initiative roll. Yeah, okay, that is a 13.
Alright. So 28 damage.
So, Zeril and Pride were not there.
Okay.
Pruitt saved.
Mm-hmm.
Oxford, Tayri, and Ruby all go down.
Alright. That's not great for you guys, is it?
No.
Okay, awesome. This is really not ideal for anyone involved in this situation.
What does this look like, out of curiosity?
So as all of you kind of, you move to face him, several of you moved up, and he looks like he's going to, go for his sword, you think, and kind of pull this out. He moves to pull his sword. His hand never touches the sheath, and instead of drawing the sword and pulling out, he raises his hand back up and kind of swooshes it over kind of in front of his face. And you see this frost just emanate from his hand and start to blow straight onto, kind of above all of the frontline spellcasters, blowing, or the frontline attackers, blowing all the way back to kind of the back line where the spellcasters are. And taking a vast majority of them down. It's Arena's turn. And the first thing you hear Arena say or do is say, shit.
Is she not down?
No.
Good,
She's
okay.
not. She's up at 2. Shit. We're not gonna get demonetized for that, I hope. She kind of turns to the people who are, like, still up. Hey, guys, what the fuck do we do? Darien kind of steps, just, like, turns just a little bit, barely even tilts his head. You leave.
Yeah. You get out of here.
Not just her. Anyone still standing, grab your friends and go. My team will handle this.
Are you sure?
Yes. Yes, I'm sure. Go, shoot. And Irina will take her movement, her full movement speed, and double her movement speed to run in the opposite fucking direction.
Alright.
It becomes Strahd's turn. Man, it sure becomes Strahd's turn. Alright,
I do have a question for you.
yes.
Does he want to take a legendary action at the end of Arena's turn?
Can you do that before his own turn?
Yep.
Okay, yeah.
At the end of any turn
yeah,
that
he
isn't
would
his
love
own.
to do that. He would love to do that. Thank you for reminding me that that's a thing he can do. Do we want to do that? Honestly, I don't think he'd care. He is going to... Right. It doesn't trigger anything. He is going to move 50 feet, move up to his speed, to catch up to Arena. To not catch up to, but significantly close to catching up to.
Yeah.
As a legendary action, and then he's going to use the rest of his movement on his turn to get in front of her and try to grapple her. I will roll this in the chat for you. What is his bonus to grappling? Okay, it's not actually that high. That's unfortunate, though. Arena has to nat 20 this, which is not great. So, Strahd rolled a 22 here, Arena rolled a 5. Actually, I realized she should have rolled a different modifier, but it does not make any difference at all. So Strahd kind of uses this legendary action, just kind of as all of you kind of ready for his attack, he just moves. He just, like, basically shifts into kind of a translucent mist and just kind of moves almost around and nearly through all of you. And then on his turn, he's going to use his movement to catch up to Arena and basically, like, grab her and throw her over his shoulder.
Okay.
Pruitt. Because you have not moved yet, you are... Okay, you're not within range. You'd have to double move, and he moves faster than you. Unless you have a ranged weapon, you can't hit him.
1 second. Okay. I want to double move to him and action surge.
Okay. Okay, go for it, yeah. Awesome. Yeah, you can do that.
17.
That is not a hit.
So I do run to him.
Yeah.
And I do... Well, wait. I know I can't kill him in the shot.
No, you know that.
Can I shrug up Arena instead?
Yes, you can,
Alright.
Absolutely. Roll athletics or acrobatics, whichever you prefer, against a roll that I will make for him in a second.
9.
He has +6. It's possible for him to fail. So I will go ahead and I will roll that in the chat for everyone's, so I can screenshot it for everyone. If we all want to see this go down. Fuck. So he rolls a 10, which is bad.
So I feel like I go to grab Arena away from him. And he just, like, throws me into a tree or something.
Yeah. He just kind of, like, pushes you back, basically grabs your hand, like, twists your arm away from her, almost kind of spins you around with the force of it, and just plans on keeping moving. And on his turn, or on as a legendary action, he is going to continue moving and move another 50 feet.
Was the legendary action not a spell? Was that does he not
It
have...
restarts on his turn.
Fuck, you're right, it does.
So this is his first one of this turn.
Alright.
Yes, so he is going to use his legendary action to move 50 more feet away from all of you. At this point, most of you know you can't really do anything to stop this. Which is bad. That's bad for all of you. This is a problem. This has turned into a situation. So, not going to bother. Darian, for his part, kind of, looks at all of you. He is far too far to do anything. Even double moving will not catch him up at this point. Double moving and action surging, even if he had action surge, wouldn't get him there now. So, he just kind of, he looks at you all, he goes, well, shit. And he is going to kind of look over at all of you. We're gonna need to figure out an alternate strategy.
I have a plan. Cyril says.
Alright.
Cunning action dash.
Okay. That's 30 feet, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Cunning action dash.
Use your 30 feet movement speed.
Move to her.
Yeah. Move to arena?
Towards them.
Yeah, towards them, yes. You can't get there.
I want to pull a throwing dagger.
Okay.
Drop her or she dies.
Strahd kind of turns to you. What?
Drop her or she dies.
He kind of looks at you, glares at you. You see this glare on his face, and then you see his face shift as he turns this kind of frown, this scowl, into something that I can only describe as the smuggest smirk you have ever seen in your life. And he is going to take a legendary action.
It's at the end of my turn.
Okay. He can do that at any point, though, right?
Legendary actions, I believe, are at the end of a turn.
Okay. Yeah, look that up for me, because I want to check that.
Certain number of special actions called legendary actions. Only at the end of another creature's turn.
Okay. Alright. He kind of looks at you, glares at you. Basically what you get from him is you can try. That is going to be a called shot because of her position. Against her AC, not his.
Does she want me to do that?
I guess that's fair. Do it. Just do it. Just do it. Right. Please. Go ahead and roll an attack.
That might help. Yeah.
Okay. Go ahead.
10.
Your dagger flies in Arena's direction. Strahd reaches his other arm, the one he's not using to carry her, over his shoulder across his body and just reaches around and catches it out of the air. And kind of just tosses it to the side. Good try. Anyone else? Is that the end of your turn?
Yes.
He would like to use his legendary action to bite her.
Yes.
This kind of drastically changes your plans, doesn't it?
Yep.
Changes mine too, it's okay. Yeah, he is going to use his legendary action to bite her, which will, 1, knock her unconscious, and 2, be the third bite that he needs to do that. To continue that ritual. And yeah. That's about all we can do at this point. It is Kella's turn next, and she is going to try to basically shoot him and make him drop her. Which is, he would need an action to grapple her and pick her up again, but she is unconscious.
Yes, Kella's conscious, right?
Yes, Kella's conscious. Yeah, she has a ton of HP. Compared to you all. And I believe she gets +9? +10 right now. She gets that stacking bonus. I'm giving her that. So it's +10. It becomes what? Is it -10 or disadvantage? Is that the rule we've done for cold shots? I don't remember.
It's a home rule, so the choice is yours how you want to do it.
I'm going to do the -10 thing, so it is a flat d20. Is that against his AC? Is that how it works? To do a cold shot? It's a flat roll?
Yes.
Oh god, do I want to do -10 or do I want to do... Neither of them is ideal. I think disadvantage is actually better. And I'm going to roll that because I want you guys to win. And I want to be nice to you. Well, shit. That fucking sucks.
Sometimes we lose.
Sometimes you do. Kella shoots, and Strahd just sidesteps. You hear her shit under her breath. And at the end of her turn, Strahd is going to take his last legendary action to move another 50 feet. There is basically nothing any of you can do at this point. He is out of range.
Still allowed to try.
You're still allowed to try. Try anything you want, by all means, but none of you can hit him at this range.
I realize that I don't have a blood curse on Pride Sheet for some reason.
I think there's a range on those, I'm not sure though.
Yes, 30 feet typically, but there's some. I'm gonna put one on.
Yeah. Well, this has turned into a problem for you all. And also, 3 of you are still unconscious, so, like...
Yes. We're gonna go in turn order and see how this
Yeah.
goes. So there's not a ton immediately
Yeah.
that I see for Pride to do here.
Yeah.
Pride is actually gonna go ahead and Healing Hands, though.
Okay. Sure.
On, No, we've changed Healing Hands from the book,
We
right?
have. Yes. It's... God,
Three times
I
level?
think it's listed on your thing as what it should be.
Okay.
It should be listed on your sheet. Is it not?
No.
Okay, it's 3 times level then, yeah, so you have 9.
Alright. So I'm just gonna
That you can split evenly, however you want. But
feel
it
like
does take an
putting 9
action.
health on Ruby is a good idea.
Probably, yeah. That's probably your best call.
Okay.
Alright.
Oxford, death save.
Yeah. Yikes.
6!
Yikes! Oh boy! You guys fucked up!
Terry, death save.
Yeah. This is fun.
16.
Hey, at least you succeeded, unlike Oxford. Ruby's up.
So she barely staggers up, gets a feeling of the situation,
Yeah.
understands how bad this
It is very bad.
is gonna briefly just mutter a healing word that's gonna hit Oxford, I think.
Okay.
5.
Alright.
Man, and she's gonna try this.
Alright.
She wants to help. She
does.
wants to help
She does
people.
want to help.
She
You gonna roll
doesn't know what she can
percentile?
do from this range. And she just says, Dad, please.
Roll percentile.
9. 9.
9! That is a 9! And you don't have Divine Intervention yet at this level.
No.
Divine Intervention is a 10 or less.
Yes.
And I think that is more than reasonable since you were directly appealing to your parent.
Yes. Which is something I don't like to do.
It is not something you normally like to do. You say this. You say, Dad, please. You kind of put your hands together, and just... I mean, the closest thing to what you're doing is prayer. You are fundamentally doing something you almost never do anymore, if you've ever done it. And you pray. And you... Immediately, for just a second, there is silence and stillness, and Strahd kind of glances over his shoulder to see what the hell you guys have come up with this time. And then you see, just very quickly, very quietly, but it's so quiet that you can hear this, someone's footsteps in the tree line. You can't see them, you don't know where they are or who they are.
Including Pruitt and Zerl, who are close.
Yes, none
Cool.
of you can see them. They're in the tree line, kind of concealed by mist still. You see from this tree line what looks at first like a crossbow bolt to you be shot out of something, and you see as this happens Strahd kind of turn and freeze. And as he freezes, as this crossbow bolt, or whatever it is, collides with his chest as he has turned to face it, he goes stock still, frozen, and Arena drops to the ground. At this moment in time, she is unconscious. Strahd is under the paralyzed condition because he has just been staked through the heart. You do not know who did this. Before any of you can react to who did this, you hear a movement of them leaving. But someone has just staked Strahd through the heart, and he is paralyzed for at least enough time for all of you to leave. To take Arena, take anyone who's still down, and run.
Yeah. Pruitt basically immediately moves to grab Arena.
Yes, you can do that. Strahd cannot stop you.
And we're just going to pick a direction.
Yeah.
What paths are out of here that we can see?
You can go back the way you came, or you can keep going down the path you were going down. The way you came is Valachian ruins and eventually back to Barovia. It's probably best to keep moving.
Yes, I think, So, tell me, I want to know about the map.
Yeah.
It's either Amber Temple.
Yeah.
There's like a fork, and it's Amber Temple or Wizard of Wines that turns into Barrows.
It's up to you which way you guys want to go. Left or right in the very nearby fork.
So, we come up to a fork, basically. I look to Darian. I think we all look to Darian.
Keep moving. Go. We need to go.
Left or right?
Left.
Alright.
Alright. You all take the left path, which you walk for a little while. You, during this process, stabilize your friends who are down. You stabilize Irina. And as you do this, she kind of staggers to her feet. She coughs. A little bit of, like, blood comes out of her mouth.
I'm gonna say we've used some of our healing
Yeah.
words and stuff.
Yes. You've gotten her up. You've gotten Tayri up. You're all standing. A lot of you were injured, but you're all standing. And Darian kind of looks at her. That was fucking close. Yeah. Yeah, it was. Thank you, guys. You tried a lot more than I expected any of you to.
Thank you for whatever you did there, Ruby. I'm not particularly sure what I did.
Neither am I. I'm curious to find out who that may have been.
I asked my father for help, but
It looks like you got it. Unless we were very lucky in some other way. We need to keep going. This path. Irina, any idea? If you go follow it long enough, it leads up to the Amber Temple. As far as I know, Strahd can't enter the temple. It might be a good deterrent if we go there and hide for a bit.
good place to lay low. What's up there, as far as you know? I mean, your father talked about it briefly.
The Amber Temple, yeah.
Yeah, the powers.
The powers, the dark powers are supposed to have some kind of vestige there that can potentially grant you abilities, from what I've heard. It was long ago a temple to the Raven Queen. And I think that's why Strahd can't enter it. It's a powerful repellent to him.
If it is a safer zone for that sort of thing.
It's probably the only place where any kind of god can have any direct communication. If you wanted to try to speak to your parents...
Under normal circumstances, I wouldn't want to, but...
It might be good.
Yes.
We'll go there. We'll go to the Amber Temple. We'll see what they might be able to offer us there.
If my father did help me, I imagine he will be ready to gloat at the first opportunity. He has an ego, which is not surprising.
No, not really. Amber Temple it is, then. Alright. We're alive.
All of us lived, which is...
By the skin of our teeth, some of us, but all of us lived. Let's keep moving. You keep moving. You start to make the trek toward the Amber Temple. Everyone level up to level 4, which we will do after this session. And speaking of after this session, I think that's where we're going to call it.
Thank you for watching this video from College of Lore. Remember to like this video, subscribe to join the party, and have a fantastic adventure.